You may want to listen or watch this few times. Let sink into your mind. It reveals the secret to overcoming anxiety. It's a very valuable information, and as I know me, I know you better. Do you see? We are all the same. We are the God's highest form of a creation. We have a marvelous mind. We live in the physical world, a physical body, and we correspond with this material world. We can create the kind of life we want. We are the God's highest form of a creation. The only two sources of a reference that you have go to find anything about yourself. The both indicate that one is science, other is theology. The both make that very, very clear. We are truly the highest form of the creation of the planet. All other little creatures on the planet are completely at home in their environment. They blend in. You and I are the only creature on the planet that disoriented in our environment. That is because we have been given the mental faculties to create our own environment. We truly can create the kind of life which we want. Now, unfortunately, not all this information we are sharing, we learn in school. We just don't learn it in school. If we don't learn it at home, the odds are pretty good. We don't learn it at all. The many people who go right through their life never understand what I'm going to explain to you. This is without the question of the valuable information. And now I began to study this many years ago. When I started learn the subject of anxiety that many people suffered from, I concluded that there's no need for a person to be the state of anxiety. Now there are all kinds of the people taking a drugs today to ease this problem that they are experiencing. I'm going to show you that as a person starts to understand how the marvelous mind operates. They can eliminate anxiety, replace it something much more beautiful. Now you and I can do that. Now you and I can do that. I will mention it again. It is without the question the most valuable idea I have ever learned. I'm going to talk about you, about the mind is paradigm. See, the paradigms are the ideas that are fixed in our mind, cause us to keep operating the same way. If we don't change paradigm, nothing changes. So let's look at your mind, your paradigm. Now, when it comes to this, not many people understand it very well. You can go to the psychiatrist, psychologist, behavioral scientists. They will give you the lot of information about you may not understand what they are giving you. There was a doctor back in 1934 in San Antonio, Texas. He was a very involved in the healing arts. He was a very involved in metaphysics, in anything beyond the physical. And he said, you know, one of your greatest problem is we are treating the symptoms all the times. We are treating the effects. We are not going to the cause of the problem. We are always work on the higher to the lower potential from the mind to the body. The body is a physical manifestation of the mind. He made very clear. Said one of our great problems, no one ever seen the mind, and yet we operate the images in our mind. So when anybody talks about the mind, they don't get a picture. Many people get a picture of the brain when they talk about the mind, but the brain is not the mind anymore than your fingernail is. The brain is as a magnificent as it is. It is an electronic switching station. As you think, you activate the brain cells, alter the vibration of your body parts. Your body may be in. Now the anxiety is a vibration. It is not a very healthy one. It is a destructive one. So I think we start to understand some of the law, understand how the mind is works. We are ahead of the game. I'm going to share with you what the good doctors shared with me many, many years ago. I have taught this over the world now for a long time. Some of the changes I have seen taken place in the people's mind is a mind boggling. Their lives have been altered like a night and day as a part. They start to understand the mind, start how it and see how it operates. Now, this good doctor Venugopal said, no one ever seen the mind. I'm going to draw your picture in your mind. Now, I will mention on many occasions over the past, this is the most valuable thing you should understand. The large circle going to represent your mind, the small circle will represent your body. Now we will make it the mind, we will divide it into two parts. We would say the top of is a conscious mind and bottom of is a subconscious mind. The little circle of is your body. Now it is like I said, this is without a question more valuable idea I have ever learned. You see what it does. It brings the order to your mind. So instead of dealing with the just confusion, now you got an order. Now I am going to teach you something here that is very, very valuable. The conscious mind can choose. Subconscious mind doesn't have the ability. Whatever ideas operate in your mind expressed through your body, the body is an instrument of your mind. Now I can't get into the depth that I want to because the time doesn't allow me to do that. We need to teach a lot in our programs. If you find the interest, you may want to look into some of the programs that we conduct because they are very liberating. They change the people's life. Now there is the thing we are looking to the deep. I want you to imagine that there is a power flowing in your consciousness. This power flows to and through us in never stops. Now, when the power flows in your consciousness mind, we would call it as the thought power. If you choose, you can think anything you want. You can think anything you want. No one causes you to think something you don't want to think. Victor Frankl also spent the war years of the concentration camp. He was a Vietnamese psychiatrist. He wrote a marvelous book, The Man's Search for the Meaning. It was on logotherapy. He said, regardless of your intellectual or physical abuse, he was subjected to, no one could cause him to think something he did not want to think. Now, whatever thought you think, turn over to the subconscious mind. But subconscious mind is programmed. Again, I'm sorry, we don't have the time to get into the paradigm. The way we would like to, but it is programmed. What we want to learn, how to control the flow of this energy. We want to learn how to control the flow of thought of energy. Let it flow freely to and through us, improving everything with which it connects. You see, we are really in charge of our results. The results that we get in our life can be altered without any difficulty. Now I keep apologizing for not being able to go into this in the depth. I want to, but as I give you this concept, I want you to pay very close attention because on the conscious level, you have a choice. You see this. These two symbols always keep in your mind, plus and negative. Now, if we just back this up a bit. There is a power flowing in. You can think anything you want. You can choose to think what you want or what you don't want. You can choose to think what you do want. You can look at what's wrong with your life, or you can look what is right with it. You have to have choice. That's a power. You can build it, anything you choose. Unfortunately, most of the people stay ignorant to it. They never really understand themselves. Now, ignorance is simply not knowing. The opposite ignorance, the knowledge. The knowledge is readily available to us. The library is full of knowledge. Surfing is a wall of knowledge. Seminars today just dispense all kinds of knowledge. Some of it's very valuable, some of it may not be. But there is a lot of knowledge around about you, about what makes you to tick and why you live, the way you live. Now we have a choice. We can choose whatever we want. You can choose to think what's wrong. You can choose to think what's right. Why would the person to choose the worry and doubt? Well, if we back it up, the problems, ignorance, that's a problem. They don't understand the situation. See the doubt, the worry, or the both psychic diseases. It's plugging into the negative side of our life. This power flows. You can build anything out of it. You want, what do? We worry. Why do we worry? Well, there is not enough money to meet our needs. Our things might not turn around the way we choose. We can choose anything we want. Now, when we build the negative idea, that's what we are doing. We are taking the power, building the negative idea. We take the impress of the negative idea upon the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is an emotional mind. So we are getting emotionally involved with the negative idea. That's a setup with a vibration called fear. The fear is again negative emotion. The cause of it, the primary cause is the ignorance, but the root cause is worry or doubt. Now, that fear is expressed. It must be expressed through your body. See, it comes in. It has no form. We build an idea, a negative idea. We impress it, set up the fear, the stage for that. We express itself as an anxiety. People don't enjoy the anxiety. It causes all kinds of a problem. Anxiety is not expressed, anxiety is suppressed. It is suppressed. What happens? We suppress our anxiety when the bottle of that energy up inside, it turns to be depression. One day it will be burst out. So do you see the anxiety is a cause of depression? But it is not the primary. It is not initial cause. Initial cause is your ignorance. Then we have to go to the worry and doubt, then fear to the anxiety, suppress the anxiety, it turns to be depression. That depression turns to disease. The body that not ease, we get uptight, our energy. We suppress our negative energy, the body starts to break down disease, then it moves the disintegration. Now, look into that side. Because the root cause of this ignorance, as you study this with me, you are going to eliminate ignorance. We are going to eliminate the ignorance with the knowledge. So let go back now. The faith-based understanding, the key, the freedom. Let's suppose a person locked into the side of the life. They seem to worry of everything and anything. They are suffering from anxiety. They suffer from depression. Why it is? Because of the choosing the wrong thoughts, it caused by ignorance. They just don't simply understand. The faith-based understanding is a true key to the freedom. You know, the wise king of the Solomon is said, in all you are getting, get understanding. How do we get that? we get it moving over onto the other side. We move over to the other side, understanding its opposite, doubt and worry. Now, there's only one way to get understanding. There is no other way. That's a thorough study. Study this conversation. You will start to see this answer to enormous problem. No just one problem, many problems. So think about the positive and negative side of the problem. The represents of law of polarity. The polarity is a law of degrees, everything as opposite. There is no up and down. There is no up without down, no hot without cold. So you see, every negative, there is a positive, but we must understand it. Now, here's a strange thing. The both fear and faith demand we believe in something that we can't see. Both fear and faith demand we believe in something we can't see, but think of it for a moment. What did fear do? Fear might be manifest your anxiety, but what is a faith manifest in? Well-being. Your faith on yourself, it will be well-being. You are seeing you are a very relaxed person. They are very cool. They are happy. They are healthy. There's something wonderful in their life. It starts with their thinking. You see, all down to the history. All the great leaders have been in a complete anonymous agreement who no one can change me. We become what we think about. Well, why would a person to choose to stay over on that ignorant side? That's why, because of their ignorant, they don't know. You see, when I was a child, I was raised to believe the rude people were ignorant. Well, the rude people may be the ignorant, but being a rude, being ignorant, two different things, right? They say they are just so ignorant. No, they are rude. Everyone ignorant, everyone is ignorant. No one knows everything. All the knowledge there ever was or ever will be available to us. But we are going to have a study to get in, and beautiful part about this, eliminate the ignorance, you get understanding. Understanding leads to the faith leads to the well-being. Now where the anxiety is suppressed, well-being is expressed. Do you see? It's almost the polar opposite with everything. The polar opposite, the expression turns to the acceleration, and because we are at ease. Do you see that at ease, the polar opposite to the disease? The body is, it's vibrating the perfect harmony with the laws of the universe. This is such a phenomenal subject. That's one that anyone can study. Everyone should study. Then that turn to the creation. Remember, to the other side turns to disintegration. People just break down why they are in disease. When they are in ease, they get stronger. It's a creation. Now we have a choice. We can go with that. We can go with that. My choice is all obviously go for the positive side. Faith on it. But it's our choice. Which side are we going to lock it to? I think this is a side we want to understand. I think you do. I think I do. Anyone you see suffering from anxiety, share this knowledge with them rather than run to the drugstore. Get them run into their marvelous mind. Thanks all. If you like this video, subscribe it and click the bell icon. Get the notification. If you're listening to the podcast, like it and follow us. Thanks. Thanks for your time.